Hi, greetings. It's me, Dr. Paul Gerhardt, and this short video is on how to do an abstract and what is the purpose of an abstract. What you're seeing in front of you is a sample of an abstract that you can find yourself by Googling Purdue OWL APA sample paper. And in this paper that I like to use for an example, you can see what a good abstract does by reading what you're seeing in the margins. And you'll notice that in green it says that the abstract is a brief summary of the paper, allowing readers to quickly review the main points and purpose of the paper. In the purplish blue writing, you'll notice that it says the abstract should be between 150 to 250 words. Abbreviations and acronyms used in the paper should be defined in the abstract. The word abstract should be centered and typed in 12-point Times New Roman. Do not indent the first line of the abstract paragraph. All other paragraphs in the paper should be indented. So you'll notice that unlike level 1 headings that you'll find throughout your APA paper, you'll notice that this heading, the word abstract, is only the first letter is capitalized and none of the letters are bold. Very often I see people that use bold throughout their whole paper, but the level 1 heading here is not bold. And it's the same way in your very first paragraph. I'll scroll down really quickly. If you're taking a class from me, you've probably had this comment, because it's very common for people to bold all level 1 headings. But you'll notice the word abstract is not bold, and then the very first heading in your paper is also not bolded. So it's one of the subtle nuances of APA writing. So let's read this abstract together and take a look at the tone in which this abstract is written. And notice how the author of this paper uses citations. So it says, this paper, and it is not indented. This is the only paragraph in your paper that should not be indented. It says, this paper explores 4 published articles that report on results from research conducted on online internet and offline non-internet relationships, and their relationship to computer-mediated communication, or CMC. The articles, however, vary in their definitions and uses of CMC. Butler and Kraut 2000 suggests that face-to-face, or FTF, interactions are more effective than CMC, defined and used as email, in creating feelings of closeness or intimacy. Other articles define CMC differently and therefore offer different results. This paper, Cummings, Butler, and Kraut 2002 research in relation to 3 other research articles to suggest that all forms of CMC should be studied in order to fully understand how CMC influences online and offline relationships. And then notice the indented, it uses keywords at the bottom. It uses keywords, the word keywords, in italics, and then there's a colon and a space, and then the keywords for this paper, which are computer-mediated communication and face-to-face communication. So that should be an indication about what this paper is going to be about. Well, if you go to the Purdue OWL website, owl.english.purdue.edu, you'll notice that it is a wonderful resource that I'm not associated with. I just like using it when teaching APA writing because they really do a good job in sharing valuable lessons that could be helpful. So let me switch over and share with you some insights from the Purdue OWL. Here's what they say. Types of abstracts. There are 2 types of abstracts, informal and descriptive. Informational abstracts communicate content of reports, include purpose, methods, scope, results, conclusions, and recommendations, highlight essential points, are short, from a paragraph or two depend upon the length of the report, 10% or less of the report. So that's a key concept there, that they need to be short and have a paragraph or two, and 10%, they should represent about 10% or less of the report. They allow readers to decide whether they want to read the report. So that's a key idea. If you are doing research and you read an abstract, it will tell you whether or not this is going to be valuable for you. Descriptive abstracts. They tell what the report contains, include the purpose, methods, scope, but not results. Conclusions and recommendations are always very short, usually under 100 words. Introduce subject to readers, who must then read the report, then learn, study results. Here are the qualities of a good abstract according to the Purdue OWL website. An effective abstract uses one or more developed paragraphs which are unified, coherent, concise, and able to stand alone. Uses an introduction, body, conclusion structure in which the parts of the report are discussed in order: purpose, findings, conclusion, recommendations. So take a look at that order: purpose, findings, conclusions, and recommendations. And again, remember, your abstract should be written last, since the whole goal of doing research is for you to dig into the literature, talk about a phenomena or something that's happening, and then because you don't know exactly what's going to emerge, you really can't write your abstract first. So at the very end of your writing process and rewriting process, there should be many iterations where you're reading your paper out loud. You should become an expert somewhat after doing the research and being able to show, comparing and contrasting and doing critical thinking about showing what is in the literature related to your topic. Are you making a good argument? Does your paper make good sense? Does it really help readers understand what is in the literature? And then your abstract should kind of, be a shortened version of your paper, less than 10% of your paper, but sum things up. It provides logical connections between material included, adds no new information, but simply summarizes the report, is intelligible to a wide audience. So here are the steps according to the Purdue OWL APA website. It says, to write an effective report abstract, follow these 4 steps. 1. Reread your report with the purpose of abstracting in mind. Look specifically for these main parts: purpose, methods, scopes, results, conclusions, and recommendations. Number 2. After you have finished rereading your report, write a rough draft without looking back at your report. Consider the main parts of the abstract listed in step 1. Do not merely copy sentences from your report. You'll put in too much or too little information. Do not summarize information in a new way. Revise your rough draft to correct weaknesses in organization and coherence. Drop superfluous information. Add information originally left out. Eliminate wordiness and correct errors in grammar and mechanics, and then carefully proofread your final copy. So if you've ever taken a live class from me, you know that I'm constantly saying you've got to reread what you write with a fresh set of eyes. And that really makes good sense for every section of your paper. As you do so, you can find, does this paragraph make sense? Does this paragraph tie in with the other paragraphs here? Am I putting this paragraph in the right logical order? And am I really helping answer my research questions, or helping really add value to the literature by making sure that I'm very clear what this paper is about, and I'm comparing and contrasting so that I give my audience members a really good insight about whatever my topic is. So I hope this paper has been helpful to you. I'm Dr. Paul Gerhardt.